Have you ever asked yourself, is God out to get me? Or maybe if you're totally honest, why doesn't God just leave me alone? Now, I get it, why we ask those questions. Maybe it's because you made mistakes. Maybe you've walked away from God's best or felt like you drifted so far that there really is no way back. Maybe you've run the opposite direction of where you knew God was leading, and yet somehow God keeps showing up. Maybe it's through a conversation or through a moment in worship. Sometimes it's through a whisper in your spirit. Maybe even right now, as you're watching this, God is tugging at your heart. You know, there's a story in the Bible that speaks to this reality. It's the story of Jonah, a prophet who knew God's voice. He knew that internal nudge telling you to do or not to do something. And then one day, God clearly spoke to him saying, go to Nineveh and preach to them. But Jonah wanted no part of it. He didn't believe Nineveh deserved a second chance. And maybe even deep down, Jonah didn't want God to be merciful because Jonah hated the Ninevites. So Jonah ran. He got on a ship heading in the opposite direction, but God chased him down. He sent a storm. He sent a great fish. He gave Jonah time to wrestle, reflect, and realize that obedience, even when it's uncomfortable, is a part of becoming who you were created to be. What I love about this story is that God wasn't just pursuing Nineveh, he was pursuing Jonah too. He cared about both the broken city and the reluctant prophet. And that's how God works. He doesn't give up on people we've written off or on the parts of ourselves we think are unredeemable. God pursued Nineveh not to condemn them, but to save them. And he pursued Jonah to draw him back into his purpose. And so maybe today, if you're honest, you feel like Jonah, wrestling with God, stuck in a place you never intended to be. Or maybe you feel like Nineveh, so far off track that hope feels out of reach. But the beauty of God's pursuit is this: it's never about shame, it's always about restoration. He chases us not to scold us, but to save us, because he sees what you can become. And so if you're running, stop and listen. If you've been hiding, come into the light. The same God who gave Jonah and Nineveh a second chance is offering you one too. And when you say yes to him, even with all your questions and flaws, that moment brings transformation. It is the beginning of something new. So yes, God is pursuing you today. It's time to stop running. It's time to turn around. It's time to experience God's best again. And that is a stepping stone to becoming who God has called you to be.